Yes, the scar on Wilkens' head was exactly what we thought it was. An electronic device has been embedded in his brain, as you can see in this picture.
That explains the change in behavior.
Yes.
But how was he able to conduct Kidman's stigma research? I mean, with that thing controlling his brain.
It's like being under hypnosis. He could be manipulated by the power of suggestion, but he still retained his intelligence.
So, is it possible to change him back to normal? And is an operation necessary?
His family would like us to try.
The authorities have also consented. They want to hear his testimony in his normal state.
I believe it's possible, if the device can be removed without damaging his brain. Dr. Vaughn, I'd like to hear your opinion.
I think we should give it a shot, for the professor's sake.
Then, we should start considering the obstacles we'll face while performing the surgery. Dr. Everett, I'll let you know the time and the place once we've given this more thought.
Yes, ma'am. There is one last question I'd like to raise, though. It may have occurred to you already, but I don't blame you for not mentioning it. Who was able to perform such a difficult operation?
We'll be performing brain surgery on you, Professor. I'd be lying if I said it was going to be easy, but it's necessary to return you to your normal self.
I don't think he can hear you, Dr. Vaughn.
I'm a doctor, and this is my patient. He deserves an explanation.
Is he even aware that his name is Wilkens? Maybe you should address him as director.
That would be defeating the purpose, Val. Professor, if you know the name of the surgeon who operated on you, can you please tell me? Otherwise, we'll have to make our diagnosis during the operation. Do you despise me, Professor? After all, if I hadn't discovered stigma, then none of this would have occurred. And you wouldn't be in this condition. If only I'd done things differently.
You are mistaken. Stigma was destined to be born from the very beginning. It matters not who was responsible for its discovery. We are blessed to have witnessed such a marvelous creation.
Professor?
Can you not imagine the possibilities of the next generation of stigma? It searches for a way to coexist within the human body, and I intend to grant its wish.
What are you saying?
This isn't the professor. It may be his body, but there's something else inside of him.
I'll explain the situation. This operation's objective is the removal of a number of plugs from an implant in the professor's brain. This complex device releases a weak electrical current that can modify a person's personality. The plugs transmit that current to a specific section of nerves in the brain.
I can't believe that Kidman and his group were capable of creating something like this.
Nor can I. This isn't a device that can be handled with the equipment we've seen in their possession. Needless to say, it would require advanced equipment as well as skill to implant something like this. Extracting the plugs will be a difficult task, but I've told Elena the operational procedure. This goes without saying, but working on the brain carries great risk. You must work with the utmost care to prevent minimal after effects to the professor's brain.
That's what I have in mind.
We must succeed with this operation. A device like that, it shouldn't exist.
Please prepare for the procedure.
We can't make any mistakes. Let's begin the operation.
Well, let's begin the operation. To begin with, we'll work on the actual implant itself. Before we can remove the plugs from the implant, we need to put the device into sleep mode. Use the forceps to pull out the 3 chips in the center. I'm told that doing this will cause part of its functions to be suspended. But please, be careful! Well, let's begin the operation. To begin with, we'll work on the actual implant itself. Before we can remove the plugs from the implant, we need to put the device into sleep mode. Use the forceps to pull out the 3 chips in the center. I'm told that doing this will cause part of its functions to be suspended. But please place it first. This is the last chip. Now, let's move on to extracting the plugs. The affected area is over here. These 5 plugs are supposedly sending special signals into the professor's brain. If we remove all 5 of them, the implant will stop having an effect on his personality.
What are these lights on the ends of the plugs?
It seems that they light up when they receive signals from the main system. Because of the modifications we made to the implant earlier, the transmission signal is cutting out. Please pull out each. Be sure to pull it in the proper direction. It's out. The first plug has been removed. Please move on to the second one. Pull it out carefully. Now place it in the... That's the third one. We've removed more than half of them. This is the last one. Now put...
Good, that's all the plugs.
We've disabled the personality disruptor. Finally, we need to turn the implant back on.
Can't we just leave it alone?
The device is in an unstable condition, and it's apparently dangerous to leave it as it is now.
Hey, what's with this?
All we have to do now is place the chips we removed back into the center. But
We have to put them in while avoiding those moving things?
yes, that will be the case.
Well,
Place that chip in the... That's the... Please be careful. That's 2... This is the last...
there we go.
Great work. All steps of the operation have been completed.
I hope that this will return the professor to normal.
We'll just have to wait until he regains consciousness and see for ourselves.
Where am I?
He's awake.
Is he back to his usual self?
I see the operation was a success. I'm glad I didn't fall victim to my creation. To stigma.
Professor?
His memory has reverted back to when we operated on him at Concordia.
Marcus, I've decided to take your advice and stop researching stigma. I had a dream. Actually, it was more like a nightmare. So I'm terminating the project.
I think that's best.
You're not gonna tell him the truth, Marcus?
It's not for me to say. It's the director's decision.
Good. You're all still here.
You could have just paged us.
That's okay. I'm sure you're all tired from the surgery. I apologize for the short notice, but there will be another meeting tomorrow. We'll be discussing the international investigation of the Stigma Syndicate. Doctors from the other Caduceus branches will be present.
I'm concerned about the professor's condition, but I'll try to make time for it.
There's one other thing you should know, just so you aren't taken by surprise. One of the topics on tomorrow's agenda concerns Cynthia.
How so?
She's in Central Asia, Caucasus to be precise. And she appears to be there on behalf of the Syndicate.
What?